friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. As promised in my last video, I will be sharing a haul. This is my design team allotment from Really Reasonable Ribbon. So I'm going to share with you these amazing supplies. And then at the end of the video, I will be having a small Q&A because we got quite a few questions in my last video, and it will just be easier to answer them all here, and then we can all know all the things at the same time. So here's a portion of my supplies that I picked up in this package are the next 2 months of Ribbon Club assortment. And I cannot show you them because it is top secret and I will lose my secret squirrel credentials. So I can't show you, but I can tell you that I believe you are going to love them. I know I do. I cannot wait to get into them. Also, if you notice this beautiful plaid tissue paper, if you have been picking up any Christmas things from a shop, you have already seen this. I've been using this as my wrapping for my packages and I just love it so much. I thought I would share it here with you guys as well. So the first ribbon that I want to show you are this Christmas bold check. Now I have picked up quite a lot of holiday ribbon before our Christmas in July series, so I had a good base in, but I needed to fill in a bit, and this is one of the things that I did run out of. This has a beautiful traditional color scheme and a little bit of a gold metallic running through it, so that's really great, and it's a 5/8 inch. It will tie a beautiful bow and hold its shape, so I can't wait to get into those. So these are each 5-yard length, so I've got 10 yards of that. And then I did pick up the natural color burlap string. I usually use the ivory, and you guys see that all the time. I use them for my loopy twine bows in my flower arrangements and on top of my ribbon. So this is just the natural color, and I could have gotten the whole roll, but I have a limited amount of space to store them. So I just picked up these, and these come in 10-yard portions, so I've got 5 of those. I have also been picking up the full rolls of the Wrinkle Ribbon. I mentioned that before, that I really focused on growing my collection of these Wrinkle Ribbons. I use them all the time, so I wanted to be able to have a good selection to pull from. For this order, I did pick up red and then also the olive green. These are both from May Arts, and you can pick up these in the full roll as well as the smaller yard portions. So if you don't need, you know, all of the ribbon in one color, you can get a good assortment. But for my purpose, I need to have enough on hand to reach for my project. So this is the 2 I picked up this time. And like I said, I've just been growing my collection of full rolls. I think I have greatly benefited from knowing which one I'm reaching for more often. Definitely can tell that I'm using this gray quite a lot, and I didn't really realize that when I was just buying the smaller portions. So now I know this is one that I need to stock up on more often. That way I won't run out and I won't have it when I need it. So this has been really helpful to me to learn what it is I'm using. I also need to find a better way to store these because this bin, which still has its label in it, doesn't really fit into my ribbon storage rack. So I need to figure out how to incorporate these into my storage that I have in my shop. That is going to be something I can show. I'm planning to do a studio tour here very soon. I just had a few pieces that I needed to switch out. I swapped some pieces of furniture with the Army Sun, and so I needed to paint them to coordinate, but that will be coming soon. And then I can show you my workshop, and that will be like a Christmas special. Not really a tutorial, but just a tour of my room. So the main reason why I wanted to do a haul video is to show you that these are new flowers that they have in stock. So these are all Wild Orchid Craft mulberry flowers, and I haven't noticed them. They may be not new to her shop, but they're new to me, and so I wanted to pick them up to see them in real life, because often sometimes what you see in a picture is hard to tell what it really will be when you get your hands on it. And then also it's nice to see the scale of them when they're shown together. So I'm really sorry in advance if the crackling of the package makes you crazy. I don't normally like to hear that either, but just to keep them in the packages so that you can see what you'll get, I wanted to keep them as they came in. So most of these are going to be the rainbow selection, and I wasn't really sure exactly what was going to come in the tones, what I could work with for my projects, but I am really very pleased with what they actually are. Sometimes you get an idea in your head and then it's not really exactly what you were thinking when you get them, but these are really great. And so I got some different sizes and then also some different styles of flowers so that you could see. So these are these really small open roses. They have different sizes in this. This one is the Pastel Rainbow in the 15 mm. And so these are really compact little roses. They work great to fill in your arrangements. I like to have larger flowers in the middle and then work down in size so that I can get a good shape. And then these are the open roses as well in a 20 mm. You can tell that is fairly significantly larger, but it's the same basic flower. Here are the rainbow in the Sweetheart Blossom. This one is called Mixed Pastel Rainbow. I absolutely love these. I thought I would wait for spring to get into them because they're soft and pastel-y, but I'm gonna get into these right away. There are a lot in this package, 100 pieces, so this is going to last quite a while. I'm very excited to get into these. So this was the larger Chelsea rose, so it's still a rose but a different kind, and there are 25 of these. They're a very generous size and they're going to work great. I'm going to hang on to these for my spring projects, I think, because they have a lot of yellow in them and I don't tend to use that much in Christmas crafting, but I will be able to use these definitely when my summer and spring time projects come around. So those are the newer ones. Now, if they had these in the shop and I didn't notice, that's on me. I just didn't look for them, I guess, but I'm pretty excited to get to use those. And then these are the two-tone Sapphire Blue Lotus flower. I use a lot of the white lotus flowers for my projects, and I typically pull the layers apart and take out the yellow stamen. I don't know much about flowers, whether these come with yellow stamens in real life. I don't know, but for my projects, they don't really coordinate well, but Really Reasonable Ribbon has a ton of different colors of stamens you can pick up and swap them out. So that's what I do. I just pull these out and then I use my crocodile to punch a little hole and then I just put in the stamen that I like. That is my flower haul that I picked up. And then I did want to answer a couple of questions before I go. I did get a request for advice for printers because I do print a lot of my own digital collage images. And so I wrote this down. I'm just going to put it here so that you can see. It's an HP LaserJet 400 color M451DN. That means absolutely nothing to me. I have no idea what any of this means, and I do know that the tech hubby did spend a lot of time researching, as he does every purchase that he makes, whether it's light bulbs or cat food. He just knows all the things because he's done the research. And so this is the one that he picked for me to use, and I am absolutely very happy with it. It does take toner that's a little expensive, but it lasts a long time. So for a purpose of just personal printing, this would be great. It is not small. You need to dedicate a fair bit of room for this, but it definitely prints a beautiful quality image, and I use it for all of my digital printables as well as some pictures that I use for my traveler's notebooks. So if you want to screenshot that, you can look into it. I love it. I don't know anything about printers, but Tech Hubby has set me up with this one and I really think it works great. So hopefully that will help. So a couple more questions that I got were about shipping these cards that I make with a lot of flowers on them. No, they don't go in envelopes. They don't even really fit in envelopes. They do have to ship in boxes. So unfortunately, you're not going to just be able to slide it in an envelope and put it in the regular post. I think sometimes you can get bubble wrap envelopes with a sturdy board inside. I've never tried that, but I do usually just put all my cards in boxes, and that way I know that it will be safe and won't get mangled by the post office shipping equipment. So my next question is a paperweight for die cutting flowers, and the person who asked was wondering, should she use 110-pound cardstock? You should not use 110-pound cardstock for sure. That is really thick. It will crease when you try to shape it, and it will not be a beautiful curve. It'll just be crackly, and it could even crack the surface of the paper. So I recommend using 65-pound weight, and not anything lower than that, because you do want it to hold the shape. Once you've invested your time in creating a beautiful shaped flower, you don't want it to flatten out. So I'm going to say 65-pound weight cardstock is the least you should go, and 80-pound is the most. I typically just use my 65-pound weight, and I'm really happy with that. It shapes well and it holds up perfectly. And I really mostly use scraps when I'm working along. If I have offcuts, I throw them in a box and I organize them by color. So when I know I need pink flowers, I just pull out the pinks, and then I can die cut all my flowers from that. And that way I'm not wasting any of my paper, and I'm getting use out of all of it. And so my last question that I did want to answer was from friend Marty. She gives me a hard time about pink for fall, but I'm gonna win her over, trust me. So friend Marty was wondering the difference between the wrinkle ribbon and the seam binding. So I've pulled wrinkle ribbon and seam binding both in an ivory color, both from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And so you can pretty much see the difference, how this one is much stiffer and will hold its shape quite a bit better. It will be a little bit bulkier. They're still both going to be 3/8 of an inch wide, but this one will hold a better bow. This one I've used for bows a lot when I'm tucking them into things and I don't want them to be quite so bulky and large. They are very similar in color if you're looking on her site from one to the other, and these are Mayarts both. So I would use this one as more of a filler rather than a standout bow, and then the wrinkle ribbon is a better bow for layering with your twine and buttons. And that's just my opinion. Don't come at me in the comments, but this is all I know, is that they're very similar, but one just has a little bit more structure and stability. So that's all for my Q&A and my haul video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave me a comment and a thumbs up. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. Remember to hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted every time we add new content. Check out the description below for links to all our social media sites. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.